Join me as I dive deep into the wild world of dopamine and see if I can go a whole week without letting it control my every move. Dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter, and for good reason. It's responsible for regulating our mood, motivation, and behavior, which is why understanding it is crucial for making sense of our actions and decisions. We've all been there, scrolling through social media, feeling like we're not good enough, and then suddenly, a like or a comment rolls in and we're hooked. Dopamine gets released, and we're instantly rewarded with a shot of happiness. But what happens when we start chasing that feeling and that feeling alone? We become dependent on it, and that's when trouble starts. We start making decisions based on instant gratification, rather than long-term benefits. We sacrifice our goals and values for the sake of a temporary high. And before we know it, we're stuck in a cycle of addiction, constantly craving that next fix of dopamine. The worst part is, it's not just limited to social media. We see it in our relationships, where we're so focused on the thrill of the chase that we forget to build meaningful connections. We see it in our work, where we're so driven by the promise of a promotion or a raise that we burn ourselves out. Dopamine dependency is a subtle but insidious force that can quietly control our every move. The dopamine loop is a cycle that starts with a trigger, which could be a notification on our phone or a craving for a specific food. Our brain then releases dopamine, which creates a feeling of pleasure or reward. But here's the catch. Our brain then starts to crave that feeling again, and the cycle continues. We get stuck in this loop, constantly chasing that next high, and it's incredibly hard to break free. For example, think about why you might reach for your phone when you're bored. It's not because you need to check your email or respond to a text. It's because you're seeking that instant hit of dopamine that comes with scrolling through social media. Or think about why you might binge watch an entire season of your favorite show in one sitting. It's not because you're really interested in the plot. It's because you're chasing that feeling of relaxation and escape that comes with it. The dopamine loop is pervasive, and it's influencing our habits and addictions in ways we might not even realize. But here's the good news. Once we're aware of it, we can start to take back control. By recognizing our triggers and being mindful of our behavior, we can break free from the cycle and start making healthier choices. Breaking the dopamine loop is about recognizing the manipulative tactics that our brains use to get us hooked. It's about understanding that a quick fix of happiness isn't worth sacrificing our long-term goals and values. It's about being intentional with our time and attention and making choices that align with who we want to be. When we're aware of the dopamine loop, we can start to make conscious decisions that serve us better. We can start to prioritize our goals and values over instant gratification. And that's incredibly empowering. Imagine being able to resist the temptation of social media or being able to stick to a healthy diet without feeling deprived. That's what's possible when we take control of our dopamine loop. So, to recap, dopamine is a powerful force that can control our every move if we let it. But by understanding how it works and being mindful of our behavior, we can take back control and make healthier choices that align with our goals and values. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear from you. What are some ways that you've experienced the dopamine loop in your own life? Leave a comment below and let's continue the conversation. And if you want to learn more about strategies to manage dopamine effectively, be sure to check out my next video.